Hi, and welcome to our VC Matters TV series, focusing on providing insights of global investment trends and cross-border opportunities. So given the context of internationalization, the series is initiated by KrAsia and CICC, which are two brands under CICC Global, covering innovation practices in Asia regions through Chinese and English content. So through this TV series, we will invite top and active VCs in the field to share their opinion in global market trends. So you can follow our series on CICC live streaming and also Facebook live streaming. I'm today's host, Vivian, and I'm the Deputy Director of CICC. I'm delighted to be joined today by Randolph Hsu, the founding partner of Ondine Capital. Randolph, thank you so much for joining me today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
And please say hello to our audience.
Hi, all the audience.
Hello.
Zoom on Facebook.
Hi. So, okay, great. And let's just get started. So it would be very interesting if we can start off hear more about Ondine Capital and what's the investment thesis in terms of the focus, regions, industries, and which financing stage does Ondine Capital mainly cover?
Okay. Ondine Capital is a rather new fund. We have our headquarters in Shanghai. We have office in, aside from Shanghai, offices in Taipei and Hong Kong. We deploy 50% of our fund in Greater China area that include mainland China, Taiwan, and Hong Kong, and the other 50% in Southeast Asia. And there's another thing is that we actually focus different fields in these two markets. In Greater China area, we focus in hard tech, like AI, semiconductor, 5G, IoT, so on and so forth. And in Southeast Asia, we focus on consumer tech, or the so-called TMT field in the China VC community.
Okay, great, fabulous. So here comes a rather tricky question. One question. So if you can use one word to describe Ondine Capital, what word would you use?
Like I say, we are a new fund, so I would say the word would be new. We are a new fund entering new field, investing new companies with new method. However, it doesn't mean we do not have experience. I personally have investment experience in mainland China, mostly in mainland China for more than a decade, and my partner has more than a decade of experience in lawyering, investment, and stocks. So together we have a rather comprehensive experience in this field.
Great. So speaking of the experience, I've observed that both of you and the other management partner has low backgrounds. And I'm quite curious about what exactly makes you want to pivot from law to capital markets. And
okay. It's actually a quite interesting question. To begin with, my partner and I, we met in law school. So yeah, we both have degree in law, but personally, I didn't really practice. So my partner always say I'm a fake lawyer, which is a rather true statement. I have law degrees and I passed bar exam. I'm licensed to practice, but I never really practiced. On the other hand, my partner have a rather solid experience in transactions like M&A and companies IPOs. So to answer your question, yes, both founding partners of Ondine Capital has legal training. I think that's a plus since, as you know, lawyers have a really solid law training, and we actually admire being professional. But aside from that, I would say, yeah, it's a plus, but that doesn't mean we are not good at investment.
I see.
Yes.
So, in terms of the background of the team, I'm also curious that as a foreigner investment to the SA markets. So, will this influence how startups perceive the cooperation or investment, and especially when approaching the startups, or is there any a new experience when approaching these startups? Yeah.
I don't see that's a big problem because. Let me put this answer in two parts. The first part is that let's look at the history of China VC or the China startup community.
Yes.
15 years ago, there are no local VC in China, and the whole ecosystem was actually built by US VC firms.
Yes.
So personally, I went through that history. So I'm quite used to see that foreign investor entering a new market and participating in the development of the ecosystem. To me, that is not really a problem, just the way it is. That's the first part of my answer. The second part of my answer, actually, I was born and raised in Taiwan. So when I entered the mainland China market, I was somewhat a foreigner since I wasn't really born and raised here. And actually, I'm quite, so just like I said, I'm quite used to face this situation. And when my partner and I, we decide to enter the Southeast Asia market, as you can see, and as everybody should know, that Southeast Asia is not really one market. It's 11 countries. It's actually 11 different markets. So when a Thailand company, Thailand investment firm invests in a project in Malaysia, it's actually a foreign investment, right? So I don't see there's a big problem there. That being said, it doesn't mean that we shouldn't making more local friends. That's actually what my partners and I have been doing. We try to visit different major cities in South Asia as often as we can and to know more, as many people as we can.
Yes. Okay, so yeah, I'm quite agree with that. We really need the local partners when we enter like the ASEAN market, since that's very diverse market. So would you mind to like share more experience of how you can get along with the local investment ecosystems?
Okay, I would say it. Well, again, I will put this answer in two parts. The first part is kind of soft side, is the chemistry. When you meet new people, make new friends, sometimes we don't really talk about business. We just making meeting new people, making new friends. However, the other part, the second part of my answer is what can we deliver to the community? What can we deliver? What can we contribute to this ecosystem? How can we help our new friends? So my partner and I, we will deliver. I will try to communicate with our past China experience. That might be and might be not helpful to the local ecosystem, but it's actually always good to learn something new, right? So yes, we try to make new friends, and at the same time, we try to pass on our experience and what we saw and experienced in mainland China, and how we did things in mainland China, and how local ecosystem can learn in a good way or in a bad way, and try to avoid the past mistakes and past what happened in China. So that's how we build our presence in the ecosystem.
Fabulous. So as you mentioned, like Ondine Capital have both experience in China and ASEAN markets, but this two markets is very quite different. So what are the current investment theses that Ondine Capital uses to maximize the success, or what are the strategies of your deployment?
Just like I mentioned, that we invest in hard tech startups in mainland China. One of the reason why is that the consumer tech in China is actually quite ahead. And nowadays, yes, there's still VC investment opportunities here, but the ticket size is actually pretty big. And once there's a signal that certain companies are going to be okay, many big players will try their best to bet on these opportunities. So it's actually hard for us to, as a new fund, to compete here. However, on the other hand, the new and hard technology is actually our forte, because before establishing Ondine Capital, my partner was working in a pretty privileged, prestigious tech firm investment arm, and I actually took charge of hard tech investment in a quite big Chinese state-owned investment company. So with our past experience and local resource, we do have some edge in investing in China's hard tech field. So that being said, our past experience in investing in China's so-called TMT, or say consumer tech, can somewhat leverage to South Asia, to our plan or speculation actually. So when we start to explore the possibility to invest in South Asia, my partner and I travel, just like we said, we travel as much as we can. And I think it's worth mentioning that my partner, before established Ondine Capital, he was with Street.com. And aside from with Street.com, he was actually participate in established JDID and JD Thailand. So he does have some experience in South Asia and e-commerce. And we think that's still quite promising in Southeast Asia. And my experience in other TMT field might be a good reference when we try to identify good opportunities in South Asia. However, that being said, I have to, actually, I told many people that I certainly do not believe in the so-called time machine theory because I know many investors, they claim there's a time difference in mainland China and South Asia. So they can do whatever they did 5 years ago or 10 years ago in China, and they want to duplicate that successful experience in South Asia. I personally do not believe that's true. Just like I experienced the time machine believers try to copy what happened in US to China. They did not make a big deal in China by just doing that. So yeah, we will take China experience as reference, but we do not rely on that.
I see. So yeah, I quite agree with that. That the time differences should not be the only like a principle when we evaluating the startups. But I want to ask, so how will you like identify the startups in, for example, SEA markets that they are really promising or they are doing the right things? So how will you like evaluate that? What's the criteria?
For the time being, just like I can mention, we are actually new to South Asia, and so we are a little bit conservative in this regard. So our first criteria is we are looking at startups that already operate in more than one country, or they are trying to operate in more than one country. The reason why we think it's important to us is that first, they can somewhat offset the country risk. Second is that they have the experience, they have the, at least ambition to go beyond border, to go beyond their comfort zone, to go beyond where they have somewhat privilege or resource. We think that's important to us. So that's the first criteria, to go beyond your home market. The second criteria is that I think we talked about this a little bit before we start this streaming, is that we like number-savvy companies. We like a team that is very sensitive to the numbers when it comes to performance, when it comes to finance. Because yes, we know that entrepreneurs should be dreamers to change the world. That's all good. We totally respect that. However, when it comes down to business, when it reduces to numbers, you need to be responsible for your own business. You need to be responsible for your investors. And yes, you need to be responsible for numbers. You need to be number savvy. So that's the second criteria we are looking for. The third is that it's actually a quite interesting criteria, because I know not every investors take this into consideration, but my partner and I, we actually appreciate the entrepreneurs being a decent person. And we take this quite seriously, because in our past experience, many entrepreneurs can deliver good results. They can make things happen however they want. So being their investors can be very happy because they deliver results, they deliver growth, so we can make money. However, we firmly believe that a saying that people steal for you will steal from you. And actually, we have bad experience in mainland China, as many people can see these days like Lakin. So my partner and I, we appreciate decent entrepreneurs. We want them to be very honest and with high standard of integrity, even if that means you will be moving slower or you will having a not as steep a growth rate, but that's okay.
I see.
We like to play with honest kids.
Okay, so speaking of the three criteria, I would love to know which startups that can be one of the case that you can share with us.
I can share with you with two investment we already announced. One of them is the biggest used car trading platform called KrAsia. They fit all the three criteria. We love the company. The company is delivering good results, good growth. Although their offline inspection site has to be shut down given the unfortunate situation for months. But I think they are still doing okay. And they have very, very transparent numbers with shareholders. So we know what's happening. We know how can we help them. So it's great. And the other company we already announced is SnapX. It's the #1 online tutor matching platform in South Asia and Hong Kong and Taiwan. Just like I said, they are number savvy. They keep growth during this unfortunate situation and actually benefit from this actually. And the founder team is actually a very decent kid. We like him a lot. And actually, I'm announcing one investment we closed this week called BankLink. It's actually funded by a group of Chinese and Thailand local talents. Their home market is now in Thailand. They leverage China supply chain and make good business in Thailand. And soon enough, after our investment, they are exploring other markets like Indonesia and Vietnam. And just like the three criteria, I keep saying that they are number savvy and they are doing them more than one market. Even though when we invest, they were only in Thailand, but they are now entering other markets. And yes, I like their team. They are very honest. They open all their books with no hidden agenda. We like them a lot.
Interesting. So, so for the startup company, during their growth path, they might encounter challenges. And we would like to ask, looking at a lot of companies that you have in your portfolios, they probably now are come to raise their Series A or even further funds. And what kind of the supports that Ondine Capital will provide your portfolio?
Oh, actually, that's a very interesting question because whenever I face a startup that pitches me, not always, but usually my last question is that aside from money, aside from the fund, might be going to deploy in your company, what other helps can I give you? That's actually usually the last question I ask. Because money is money. you can secure money from many different investors, but why us, right? So far, we still define us as a Chinese GP, a Chinese VC.
Okay.
So either you appreciate our resource experience in China, or you appreciate our experience and resource in what we did before. That is e-commerce. That is China finance industry in both RMB fund and dollar fund. Maybe you want other Chinese GPs to invest in you that we know a lot. We are in this ecosystem. That's the one way to go. Or you want to know how Chinese companies, because Chinese companies, most of them already faced what they are going to face. So maybe you want that. Or let me put another example. You want to build. That's actually a real life case that one of the companies we met is actually helping us to help them to build an R&D center in mainland China because they want to leverage China's high quality software engineers. That's another way to go, and I think that's fair. So yes, to answer your question, I will ask them, why do you want our money instead of other very resourceful or very good reputation local VC? You can tell them money too, right? Why us? Tell me.
Very interesting, because for VC, you've definitely become very helpful from the funding perspective. But other than that, you can still provide other resources for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very interesting. So back to the challenges that met, you just mentioned that one of your portfolio actually went to have an R&D center in mainland China.
Yep.
And I've also heard that, this is really one of the challenges that SEA enterprises has encountered. So what about, is there any other obstacles or challenges that SEA enterprises are now facing, and how Ondine Capital will provide their support?
Well, the thing is, we are still a financial institution. We are still investors. So you have, if the staff have a day-to-day operation problem, we can introduce, people we know, because the thing we do is actually meeting different people, different experts, people in different fields. So if you want, people to ask you, you want to meet, experts, you want to meet guru in specific field, we can introduce. However, if you're asking us how to handle your day-to-day operation problems, sorry, we cannot do that for you. And actually, personally, I would be quite worried that if we need to do that for you. However, in high-level guidance, if you want to know people, and if you want to know the big players in China or in the US, how did they overcome the growth difficulty when they are your size, when they were your size? Yes, we can make the introduction, because actually we know people. So we can do that. So you can take us as a hub of information, of talents, of resource, of experience. But I don't think you can expect us to solve your problem for you.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's quite reasonable. Okay. So I know this question has been asked for many times in the past 2 to 3 months, but so considering the influence brought by COVID-19, is there any new opportunities that you found emerge in SEA markets? Because in China, we've witnessed the emerge of, for example, remote working, remote medical healthcare, and remote education. And we will be very curious about what about SEA market? Is there any new trends that you observe because of the COVID-19? Yep.
Yes, I think it has been covered by many people, and I think they have a fair answer and fair evaluation on this. So I don't have anything new. The thing I would say is that it's actually an opportunity for startups to slow down and review what they know and what they thought they know. And also it's another opportunity for the VCs, for the investors, to see who are really using their brain and best judgment. Because given a same difficult, unfortunate situation, people are reacting this differently. So lucky for us, it's actually our time to pick. I know it's harsh. I know it's cruel to say this. But yes, in the past 3 months, we have seen different entrepreneurs facing this same bad situation very, very differently. And this is actually the time we separate men from boys. I'm sorry I have to say this, but it's actually a good time for us to make this evaluation. Because in the good times, in the growing times, in the booming times, everybody's doing great. Everybody has great ideas. But in bad situation like this, that tells you who you really are, how smart you really are, how hard you really work. So yes, it's actually a good time for us.
I see. So is there any specific qualities that they have to, is it required for them to, survive from the pandemic situation? For example, as you said, that, for example, if the enterprises is at the early stage and versus the enterprises is actually at the growing stage, the challenges that they meet is quite different. So yes. What suggestions will you give to this CEO?
I'm not sure if I'm following correctly, but you have to survive this thing, right? So take a closer look at your cash flow. And we are actually quite lucky that all of our portfolio companies in South Asia, they either close a big round before the bad thing, or they have a rather healthy cash flow in, so they can survive for 6 months or even 12 months without a smooth operation. Just like I said like 30 minutes ago, I've seen startups that fail to pivot fast enough when I see this. I can't be more sorry for that, because first, your cash flow will be a big problem for you, and second, even if you don't have cash flow problem, you will be faced to stop your operation for at least for a while. And during this time, what did you do? That will define your future. So even if you need to slow down, make this count. Don't waste your time.
Okay. So is there any like the real cases example that you think the CEO is really making brilliant decisions during this difficult time, like the real cases?
Well, I don't think it's a good idea to say a real case, because we in the end we didn't invest in another one, but I can share on a high level idea is that this startup they had two different revenue streams before COVID-19. One is online, one is offline, and they were heavily rely on the offline with their stakeholders. When the COVID-19 happens, we actually were evaluating if we should invest in this company, but because we have experience with SARS. When SARS hit mainland China, when SARS hit Taiwan, we were old enough to know what happened, and we remember that. So in February, I think, we suggest that startup to slow down their expansion offline. On the other hand, focus more on the online business, because we see what's going to happen, and we highly believe online business will do better than offline. And actually, the entrepreneur somewhat took our advice, maybe because they think we are going to invest in them. So he switched his focus and deploy more of his human resource and time on the online business. And they are doing okay. They can at least survive. If they did what they did, they might not survive. So I think they are lucky to do that. But we didn't invest in that company, so I don't think it's a good idea to disclose the name. But well, we feel good to be, at least we help a company.
Okay, fabulous. So speaking of like the 2020, I also want to ask what's your market prediction in terms of combining with your focus in terms of the industry? What kind of the industries or areas that you think it will become quite promising and you have faith in that?
Well, industry-wise, yes, of course, online and personalized consumer service brand will keep going. It's actually not our judgment in 2020. It's our judgment in the future, say 3 years, 5 years, it's all the same. However, I would like to share another observation I made these days in Shanghai. There are so many Chinese VCs trying to address this market.
Okay.
They are deploying their human resource and their fund, waiting for the travel ban to be lifted. They are checking their flight tickets on daily basis. Once they can travel to South Asia, they will. So I don't know how many entrepreneurs are here with us, but if you are here with us, update your resume, update your business proposal, update your fundraising deck, because there are many new money from China, from US. They are looking for opportunities to invest in South Asia. People are asking around me because they know as a China VC, we kind of explore this market rather early, at least 18 months earlier than them. So I got phone calls, I got message like every day to ask our schedule, our itinerary. People want to tag along to explore opportunity in South Asia. So embrace this opportunity, take the right money, and build your business.
Great. And so because our TV series is one to explore cross-border opportunities. So I also want to ask how you perceive how you can foresee the cross-border opportunities in within Southeast Asia market and also China and Southeast Asia market. So will there be more and more cooperation, or in terms of the business, or even you will cooperate with the regional VCs to finish or co-invest in startups?
Yes. I got to be very straightforward. If you are a good team doing good business, and you ask a foreign VC to lead your investment, to lead your run, it's kind of weird, right? Because it's no secret you are a good one. It's no secret you have a promising future. So cook your shareholder list carefully. You can have local VC, you can have local CVC, and of course you can have foreign investor from US, from China, but don't let a foreign VC to lead this run. Otherwise, it smells really funny. I know some people who think foreign VC has bigger brand name or they can afford a higher valuation. Sometimes yes, but be careful. You need to make people perceive you are really strong in the right way, right? So that's first thing. The second thing is that you are absolutely right. I think within the region, cross-border investment, cross-border business activities will keep prospering. And yes, money and business from China and to China will keep going. I firmly believe that after the COVID-19.
I see. Okay. So here comes to I think here comes to a relatively relaxed one. So I would like to ask, can you share your happiest moment and darkest when you enter the capital markets, when you start your career in capital market?
Well, happiest moment, many people, including me, would say, cash out, right? When you put $1 in and $80 out, it's always happy. However, I won't say happy means meaningful. And I would like to share the most meaningful moment in my investment business with you. Is that just like I say, when things are going well, when the market is booming, when your business is growing like crazy, that's all good. Every people around you is happy, you are happy. But that is not the time to show people who you really are. The real time that show who you are, and just like I said, to distinguish between men and boys are the hard times. So the most meaningful time in my past experience is to deal with stocks that are in distress. They are running low on cash and their future seems not as promising as they should be. In that time, I will try my best. Of course, I have to try my best to help the entrepreneur, to help the founding team. When they regain the confidence, when they know what to do, when they pivot and find a new way to survive or even new way to grow, that's actually the most meaningful time for me as an investor. Maybe I won't put in another time, but I'll put in my time, my resource, and my trust in the founding team and help them to grow, to pivot, and to start over again. And in Chinese, we say 轻装上阵, right? Because you have to, you already lost too much, and you need to, forsake the legacy, forsake the glorious history, and try to start again. And I think that's the most meaningful moment to me as an investor to help the founding team in a bad time, not in a good time. Yeah.
I think that's also the characteristic or the personality that you want to find from the CEO or the founder of the startups, right? They have to become more optimistic?
Well, actually, no. I hope I don't see their best. I just, it is a worst case scenario. So if you are always in a good time, that's definitely a good thing to everybody. But if it comes to a bad time, yeah, we can help, and we definitely hope you are a man, not a boy.
Cool, interesting.
Yeah.
And also, I want to go back to the previous one of the previous questions that you said you are trying to find the enterprises that can, expand, have the market not only in one region, but also they can expand to other markets as well. So I want to ask that will you see that the opportunities, for example, based in SEA, but they have the potential to go other Asia regions? Can you share your opinion in this?
Oh, that's actually a very interesting question, because we are now actually in this very moment, it's evaluating a consumer brand originated in South Asia, and they want to explore other markets, including China, including North Asia, and maybe somewhere down the road, the US market. We have seen that before, in some rare case. But I think the world is a colorful place. People have different tastes. I think that's going to happen. But how fast, on what kind of scale, we do not know. And even if that's going to happen, is that a good opportunity for VC to take advantage of? I don't know. But I think it's worth finding out.
Okay.
Just like I always say, a good business doesn't mean it's a good VC deal. Just like, to answer your question, yes, I think it's going to happen. It's definitely going to happen, but it doesn't mean VCs like us can make money out of this. I don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah, we will see.
Cool. Okay, great. So I think we covered most of our questions today, and thank you so much for your time, Randolph. And I really enjoyed the time with you.
Thank you.
So I'll see you more around, and thank you so much for.
I have one question.
Oh, for me.
Yes, for you, and actually on behalf of the audience, actually.
Okay.
I hope I did an okay job doing a warming up for your Venture Matters program, and I'm wondering if you are, allowed to let us know who are going to be on your second episode.
Oh, I see. So stay tuned, please. We are going to announce that very, very soon.
Oh, that's a secret. Okay.
Thank you so much. And also thank you so much for our audience that they keep company with us for the last 30 to 40 minutes. And we really enjoy this. And so thank you so much, and bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.